Consumer price inflation is expected to remain flat at 5.2% in May when Statistics South Africa releases the latest figures tomorrow. On the other hand, Trading Economics global macro models and analysts forecast CPI at 5% from 5.2% in April. Expectations from F&B analysts are that monthly pressure on headline inflation will ease further to 0.2% in May, while annual inflation to remain unchanged. Beyond May, the bank sees core inflation stabilizing and fuel price dynamics could be more positive. However, it anticipates that food inflation will reflect some upward pressure from adverse weather conditions. Nedbank economist Johannes Kosa also agrees with this view, adding that the fall in the price of Brent crude fell due to concerns around the Middle East conflict further supports this view.
Expect consumer inflation to have remained unchanged at 5.2%. But during the month, we expect consumer prices to have increased by 0.2%. So that monthly increase will still be slowing down from 0.3% that was recorded in April. The reason for the slowdown in the monthly number is because we've seen the price of Brent crude oil increasing. I think it increased by around 1.7%. But even that increase it's a slower increase compared to what was recorded in April. I think in April, we have seen the fuel price increasing by more than 2%. So the reason for the slowdown in May number is because the price of Brent crude oil fell, I think, by around 10% in May because concerns that, the conflict in the Middle East could spread over and disrupt oil production and also the supply chain have been easing. And the second reason is that, we continue to see food prices coming down off a higher base. So going forward, we still expect consumer inflation to continue to moderate and remain at around 5% throughout the third quarter of this year.
Inflation is a key release in the domestic economy because it's closely watched by the SARB to determine interest rate adjustments, and it signals the speed at which consumers' incomes are being eroded. So if we look at the individual components making up the inflation basket, in particular fuel, even though the fuel price was higher in May, year-on-year growth was broadly unchanged. Furthermore, it's likely that we will see an ongoing downward trend in food inflation. So overall, we're expecting May's inflation print to remain steady. A slowdown in services inflation, particularly insurance and medical aid, will also help. And if we see continued prints reflecting stable inflation, this will reinforce our expectation of a possible rate cut by the SARB in November this year.